In 1938, on his 75th birthday, a famous American received a high honor from Nazi Germany. It was the Grand Cross of the German Eagle, the highest award the Reich could give a foreigner. The recipient was not a politician or a general. He was an industrialist, Henry Ford. At the same ceremony, a personal letter from Adolf Hitler was read aloud, praising the American as one of our great, inspiring industrialists. But why was the Führer honoring the man who invented the Model T? The answer lies in a dark partnership that fueled the Nazi war machine and helped put millions of people in mass graves. Long before World War II, Henry Ford was already famous for two things: cars and anti-Semitism. In the 1920s, he personally financed and distributed The International Jew, a racist pamphlet later reprinted by the Nazis and cited by Hitler and Mein Kampf. But the real controversy began in the 1930s. As Hitler rose to power, Ford's German subsidiary, Ford Werk, expanded rapidly. When war broke out, the Cologne plant switched to producing military trucks, aircraft engines, and troop transports for the Wehrmacht. But here's where it gets darker. Ford Werk also used forced and slave labor from concentration camps. Prisoners worked alongside civilians, building vehicles that carried German soldiers to the front, and sometimes to round up more prisoners. Meanwhile, back in America, Henry Ford's River Rouge plant in Detroit was fulfilling contracts for the U.S. military, building engines and vehicles for the very army fighting the Nazis. Ford was literally supplying both sides. After the U.S. entered the war in 1941, Ford's German assets were placed under Nazi control, but evidence suggests headquarters in Dearborn, Michigan, may have still profited indirectly through patent agreements and pre-war financial structures. After the war, when Ford Werk's use of slave labor was investigated, the company claimed it had been under enemy control. No senior Ford executive was ever prosecuted. The U.S. Army even gave the company reconstruction contracts in Germany after 1945. Henry Ford died in 1947, a celebrated American icon. The full story of his company's wartime collaboration remained buried in archives for decades. It wasn't until the 1990s, when lawsuits were filed by Holocaust survivors, that Ford Motor Company acknowledged its German plants used slave labor and issued a formal apology. But the question remains: was Ford a naive businessman trapped by war, or a willing enabler of the Third Reich? One thing is clear: the same factories that put America on wheels also helped motorize the Holocaust. And the man who believed in peace through industry left behind a legacy